Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition. Choir boys, outdoors, guys. I'm in love with this summit right here. This is the Accomplice. It's in 80 CRV2. These are G10 handle scales. It is dropping April 15th on Tkell's website. Go over there, check them out. They got some different handle scales. It will be a drop run. Okay, so these aren't pre-orders. They're going to have a drop. Here's what I wanted to do. I have shot the entire video, the entire thing. This is going to be the opening segment. I'm going to narrate the rest of the video, but I wanted to do this in the moment. The more I use this damn thing, the more I love it. It came razor sharp. Remember, this is the end. This is the last thing. And I have cut and cut and cut. I just want to tell you a couple things about it in the moment. It came with a phenomenal toothy edge. Let's see if you can see that. Let me get back here. Phenomenal toothy edge. Tim did an amazing job. Kirk absolutely loves this knife. So the video is actually over at his studio. It is well made, well balanced, and Eric Alders, the designer, Eric did a phenomenal job. Now, Eric drove home to me checking this out in the kitchen. He keeps his in the kitchen. That's like one of the weak points of this channel. I did some peeling with it, some slicing with it. I'm going to take it with me this week to Blackie's gathering. There's a lot of guys who do a lot of cooking. I'm going to let them use it. There'll be more videos coming out. Here's the thing that I love about this knife. This may be one of my new favorites. This is a pocket fixed blade for me. Now, what they did on this, I love. Kydex sheath. But see that? You can raise this up, slide it over your belt. That's an awesome addition. Since I've lost my weight, I do like carrying Scout a little more. But look, for a pocket fixed blade, there's ample handle here. Now, as the video goes on, I'll give you all the specs. Look at that. I can get a full grip. I'm not dropping down. Matter of fact, let me drop down and use this. I've got another inch or two, so that is a full handle. And again, came sharp as shit. Now, I've cut this several times. This is that super thick stuff, so let's see what we got, if it's got any gas in it at all. This stuff right here, if you've never messed with it, it's hard to explain to you how difficult, especially standing here. This is pretty insane at the end of the video, man. Look at that. Reinforced, 1 inch, 4-ply, thick as shit, end of the video. And I know this sounds a little more salesy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's one I would snatch up. It is the Accomplice. Tkell is the maker, Eric Alders, the designer. The handle sells it for me. I mean, I love a clip point, but the handle is the gas. All right, join us for the rest of the video. I'm Scab, and we'll see you in a minute. All right. Let's jump into this thing. Listen, I just wanted to touch base up front with you there. Now, what the trunk scene at the beginning, that's the end. I'm not going to cut paper at the end. I'll do another short later on the night, like an after review, sit rep, whatever you want to call it. Here's the thing. Tkell makes good shit. Tim's a veteran. You know I support that. But he makes quality stuff, right? The entire package was quality. From what it came in, which was a nice pack that's MOLLE compatible. You can put it on your belt. To the details. He sent a Band-Aid. I guess he's watched several of my videos and know that I will probably cut myself. But the overall construction of the knife is 10 out of 10. I'm just telling you, dude. I'm enamored with this knife. Now, two things. First thing is this. A knife is only as good as the maker. Point blank, period. I don't give a shit what kind of steel, what kind of handle material. I don't care. If the maker's not any good, the knife ain't going to be any good. Conversely, when you have a well-made knife, this is, and I'm talking about the one in my hand, when you have a well-made, well-put-together knife that's heat-treated properly, when everything's chamfered like it should be, then the only drawback to the knife is the user. Skill set matters. I've said it, and I've said it. That's why on this channel, my goal is not to break a knife, not to take it to its breaking point, but to show you what it can do in a novice's hands, right? I try to improve every video. We work on skill set, but I do want you to understand The make of this knife, the fit and finish of this knife, the complete package, which we don't typically deal with, we just typically deal with function, is 10 out of 10. Having said that now, let's jump into the knife. Again, this is the Accomplice. Now, Eric Outer said that he wanted to design a knife, the kind of knife that would be caught on you if you got caught doing something sketchy. I've said the other day, the point is not to get caught, but if you're going to do some sketchy shit, this is the knife for you. If you're going to do some legit stuff, same. It's a great knife. Here's the things that I love about it. I love that it came sharp. I love that it came with a toothy edge. I love that it gives you a full handle. I love that while the spine is not completely sharp 90 degrees, you can strike a ferro rod with it. I have had great luck with the 80 CRV2. We did go a little harder on this knife. I'll say this for the knife. It came super sharp. We're going to do a little chopping with it. I was pretty impressed with the chopping. Now, that's due to the sharpness. The bevels are all even. The geometry's there. Great knife. So, what don't I like about it? Well, I haven't found anything yet, but I'll keep looking. So, the overall length of this knife is 8 1/8 inches. So, 8 1/8 overall length. Blade length, I'm reading from the tip to the top of the G10 handle scales is 3 3/4 inches. You're going to have about a 3 5/8 cutting edge. It does come with a slight sharpening choil. It has a very small ricasso that juts out kind of like a guard so you can get a good firm grip. The handle scales are G10 and they're done really, really well. Really well. The handle matches, and what I'm saying there is when you wrap your hand around it, you don't feel the steel, you just feel the handle. Everything molds together. The ergonomics of this handle fit my hand completely. The inner grip on this knife is right at 4 inches, okay? It's 4 inches, well no, that's not true. It's about 4 1/16 on the inner grip. Most hands are going to be able to fit this unless you got like a XXX. Most normal hands will fit this knife with space to give. The handle thickness, not width, but thickness, is right at, let's see here. Now guys, if you're new here, you're new to the channel, you're just checking this out because it's Tkell. I pull the measurements myself. The handle thickness is right at a 1/2 inch. The handle width, the handle actually is contours to your hand. So the narrowest point of the handle is 7/8. The widest point is 1 inch. So it goes in and out, so you can get a really, really good grip. The pommel, if we want to call it that, is nice and well rounded, so you can use your thumb there for stabbing, as you've seen earlier, or if you need to drop a finger down, you can do that. The blade width at its widest point is right at 1 inch 5/16. It is looks like a clip point, more of a modern clip point. Fits really, really good in the hands. Now, I cut everything I could cut with this knife. That's kind of what we do. Did a little light batoning, did some cutting, did some chopping, tried to use the knife. When you see me in these videos, guys, I'm usually doing things that I would cut with anyway. The sandblast hose, which is insanely difficult to cut. I do have to cut. It just depends on the kind I have at work. Some I've had to cut 4 or 5 times a month. Some I don't have to cut for 2 or 3 months. But cutting that sandblast hose will tell me a lot about the edge geometry, the thickness behind the edge, etc., etc. Here we're going to do some batoning. I don't really do a lot of batoning in real life except for smaller pieces, unless we've just got a big basher of a knife and it's billed as some kind of hard thing. Otherwise, typically, this is the kind of batoning I do. Really light, small pieces. I live in Northeast Florida, so if the ground's wet, the wood's wet, you have to get to the middle of it, right? And we don't really deal with a lot of hard, super hard woods here. We have some, of course, but not many like you would up north or in other regions of the country. Right here, I felt no shock in the handle, none. It was very comfortable in hand. When I was doing the stabbing, there was no slip. The G10 gripped phenomenally. Plus, you do have a little bit of a guard there. Plus, draping my thumb across that pommel, which is nice. It's oval shape, so it really contours to your thumb so you can get some drive. Everything is as it should be. No shock. The way the handle contours to my hand, like I said in the first segment, the handle makes the knife for me. I love the blade shape. That's great. Every blade shape that ever is going to be made has been made. I get it. But this handle is next level. It feels great. It feels like an extension of me. And when you have that, when I say that, I mean, I feel like there's nothing I can't do with this knife. If I need to skin, if I need to cape, if I need to do some carving, to set some snares or some traps, or if I just want to sit and whittle for a bit, this knife comes in handy. I mentioned the 90-degree spine. It does have one, not super sharp, but enough that not only will it slice some nice batwood cleanly, it'll strike a ferro rod. And for my guys that bushcraft and shit like that, you know that's important. I cut zip ties every day of my life. Every single solitary day. We add a lot of tags at work. I have to tag things coming out of the weld shop, going into the blast, coming out of the blast into the powder coat, out of the powder coat to get shipped. So there's a lot of adding, but putting them on, taking them off. That's why I do this. Plus, it's not to show if the knife's sharp. The knife's sharp. It's to see if it'll chip, roll, or do anything. Shocker, it did not. It's still just as sharp now, which y'all seen in that opening segment, as it was when I got it. Stripping wire goes back to my underground utility locate days. We'd have to strip wire, hook to them, to run them out, to locate them out. They didn't want you to do that, but there were times that's the only thing you could do, right? The knife handled this well, and then just kind of chopping the copper there. No damage whatsoever. Give you a decent look. I always ask Kirk if you can see it, and he just says, yeah, I think he just agrees with me. Now, look right here. No, it's not a huge limb. That's not the point. The point is, well, my bad, Kirk. The point is, it got done what I needed to get done. And with a knife like this, that's what you want, right? Guys that are going to carry this, like, I'm going to carry it this weekend because we're going to do some camp cooking and things like that with it. But also, for me, this is just a great all-around camp knife. It's also a knife at night when I go to bed, if I got to get up and move around, check the fire, go pee, do whatever, I can slide it in my pocket if I need it. It's not super heavy. It fits perfectly, and I am very, very comfortable with it. I'm comfortable holding it in any manner. Here, I like doing this little thing right here. Is it a test or a demonstration? Well, it's just making a quick tent stake out of a green limb, right? We're going to be going to Blackie's. I'm going to be getting there later Thursday. So when I set up my tent, if I happen to forget my tent stakes, which I'm going to make a note that I don't, but if I do, I can find a couple sticks, whittle them down super fast. It won't mess me up. It don't slow me down. That's something I really, really do look for in a camp knife. What kind of different tasks will it handle? And of course, with Tkell, he makes a lot of knives for self-defense. Now, let me say this. Unless you've ever been in a real fight in your life, this isn't TV, it's not the movies. Fights are up close and they're personal. Guns are great. I advocate if you put yourself in bad spots all the time or you need to carry one, carry one. That far from me to tell you not to. When I say self-defense for a knife, it's typically a last-ditch weapon. Somebody's jumped on you, somebody's got on you, somebody sucker punched you. You can't get to your primary weapon. This is a weapon that you could put close to you. Now, you got to practice with it. You can draw it, and unless you're a moron, yes, you can use this for self-defense. It is built incredibly strong. The one, like right here, again, and I've said this before, I started out doing this kind of as a joke, playing around, but I've gotten to where I really enjoy doing it, and it's just it's kind of an extension. I hope I never have to use it. I hope I have to never stab anybody else or get stabbed again. But if I do, I am confident with this knife. Now, the blade stock on this thing, guys, I'm reading between 1/8 and 10. All right, guys, my bad on that. The blade stock is right at 3/16. I wasn't going to cut the paper, but since I screwed up on the narration, let's cut some paper. Here's the deal, guys. There was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, Stats are all over the place. We're at the weekend, so it's going to be higher. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. By the way, all the cutting that you've seen, and it's still this sharp, pretty impressive. So Bets, I love you. Man, you have a place here. That's all that means. You're welcome here. I back the blue. It's not popular. I've never been popular in my life, and that's okay. I'm also not here to argue with you about it. It's my cause. You don't have to support it. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, the Tkell Accomplice, a great design by Eric Outer, a great build by Tkell Knives. I'm really enthralled with this thing. More importantly, though, guys, I'm Scab. You're not. Catch y'all on the next one. Tkell Knives, April 15th. Make sure you check the Accomplice out. I'm gone, son.